the bond between father and son to a grueling test. Walking Out stars Josh Wiggins as a teenager visiting his dad in the Montana wilderness. The father, played by Matt Bomer, takes his boy hunting. Things go sideways from there. The film was featured at Sundance Film Festival, and it's garnering excellent reviews, and it's set to open this weekend in Seattle. Please welcome the film's executive producer and Washington native, Catherine Ann Mcgregor. It's so good to have you here. Welcome. So first of all, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Eastern Washington, a little town called Hooper, and it was a population of 50 people when I was raised there. Probably 20 now.
So that's the obvious path to Hollywood,
exactly.
Right? Hooper to Hollywood. So do you think actually living in a rural area maybe played a part in your imagination or your storytelling?
Well, there's not a lot to do in Hooper, so you did need to use your imagination to entertain yourself, so yes.
And look where it's gotten you. Tell us a bit about this movie, about the story and where it was shot.
It was shot in Bozeman, Montana and Livingston, Montana, and it's a story about an estranged father and son that don't see each other very often. Our father, as you said, was played by Matt Bomer, and he's an off-the-grid dad living very remotely in Montana, and his son David lives in Texas, and he's played by Josh Wiggins. They struggle to connect with each other. They're very different people. Yeah. David's in his technology, and Matt's character is just wilderness.
Not having any of that.
He's not having any of that. And so it's how to bridge the distance between two very different people, but also their father and son. I think people can relate to that sometimes.
Right, absolutely. So your role as an executive producer, I think of that as financing, but you have creative fingers in this as well.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, well, we were on the set, my producing partners and myself, we were on the set for most of the shoot, and we had a lot to do with notes during the editing process and helping with promoting and everything like that.
The performances are amazing. They're just three people in this movie. Bill Pullman plays a character, the dad's dad, that we see some of the time. And it is such a meditative movie, but very moving. I'm just curious what drew you to this story. And it was a short story to begin with, right?
Yes, it was a short story by David Quammen. And our directors knew about it. And then a producer named Rodrigo Garcia, director, was interested in it, and anyway, here we are. Yeah. And what was the question?
What drew you to it? Because it is a father and son story, but you don't have to be a guy to
it's interesting you say that, because when my partners gave me the script the first time, I thought, this is a guy's story. It's about hunting. But the next day, I was washing dishes at my sink, and I thought, I'm really haunted by this story. Yeah. It really goes deep within the heart and the gut, and it's a chick flick as much as it is a guy flick.
Turns out so.
It turns out to be. And I was in Eastern Washington. My family has settled there 135 years ago in our history. Our generational line is very important to us, and that theme runs through this movie about how traditions get passed down from one generation to the next, and how that imprints our identity and our sense of connection to one another.
And what all that means. And the young man, the teenager, Josh Wiggins,
amazing,
is so good in this. It's crazy. Let's take a look at a clip.
You just think what you'll tell those kids back in Briar Meadow? How primal you'll feel knowing you came home from a good kill.
I don't want to kill a moose.
It's an old sheepman's hut, and it's near where we're going to hunt, and I can fix it up dry and warm and good. I thought you might like that. Thought it might be more fun than a tent. But we don't have to do it, right? We can drive back to town and buy a tent, or I can drive you back to the cabin and we can hunt birds. Whatever you want to do. All right, put you right back on a plane. One leaves every single day.
No, I want to.
Are you sure?
It was like watching a real kid talking to his dad.
Yes, he's wonderful.
I mean, even the way he says, Dad, Dad. I thought, oh my gosh, I've heard my son say that to my husband, sounding exactly that same way. It's just absolutely amazing. And not to take away from the drama of it, but you know Matt Bomer from the Magic Mike movies. This could not be any more different.
Exactly.
He's an amazing actor.
Yes, he is.
What do you want people to take away from this movie?
Well, you know, it's for those adventure thriller enthusiasts, they'll get that. But for me, because maybe I relate to the heart of it more, it's really about family and bridging connections with relatives and loved ones, and also our generational line and how that informs us.
And that connection, no matter how different you may be.
Exactly.
That connection exists. Thank you so much. You made a beautiful movie.
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Walking Out opens tomorrow at Varsity Theater in Seattle. Please visit our website for showtimes and more information. We'll be back after this. Thank you so much.